What's up, everybody? That's right. It's that time again. You just tuned in to Real Labs on 104.1. That smooth voice you're hearing is no other than James Yan. I'll be your host for tonight. I'm joined in virtual studio with my man, my confidant, my friend, my spiritual advisor, Mr. Miguel Colon Jr.
Shalom, brother.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Here to offer you peace and guidance. And you know what I miss, James? I miss me and you being on the road eating so bad.
Yes,
so bad.
Yes, man, brother. That's part of the best part about being on a road trip is the food. It has to be, man.
It has.
Best part of that.
I miss secretly we would book a show together and we'd be heading out somewhere and I'd just be going through Google and be like, I'm just going to casually bring up that Shannon's House of Casseroles is on our route. If we want to add an extra an hour, 15 minutes to our time. Do you remember the time James, that me and you drove 20 minutes out of the way to go to that Waffle House? Because there was nothing in Jupiter. There was nothing open and we were like, we could go home north or we could add 40 minutes, 20 minutes down and 20 minutes up. And go to a Waffle House.
We driving home from Georgia now. We could go home, or we could just do a quick 6 hours of South Carolina and go to Junebug's Barbecue.
Eat little it's almost like sailing. We're gonna catch the winds, and it's actually gonna make it easier for us.
I love you, brother. Also, we are joined in studio with my good friend and the writer of the TV show that I do, The Lowdown with James, Mr. Myke Hurley. I'll be remiss if I didn't say this. And he is here tonight because he is also returning to the Obligatory Podcast. So congratulations on that.
Nice.
Mike. Oh, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah,
welcome.
Yeah,
You're
good time.
man.
Well, I was excited, but now I'm just hungry. You guys talk about food way too much.
We're fat kid. Man,
I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've been awake for like 6 minutes. So
nice.
This is the problem with working from home. It sounds like a great idea until you can just keep hitting the snooze and go, oh yeah, I don't have to drive anywhere. And then all of a sudden it's just your 10-year-old going, Dad, it's 8:51, and you're like, I guess I better go do that radio show thing. Here we are.
That's nice. Your kids like, Dad, you got to go to work. Get up.
It's like waking up from a bad dream and then still staying in the bad dream. That's what it's like right now. So.
Hey, how is it this? How is it when you're having a good dream and wake up when you go back to sleep? That's the end of that. But if you're having a nightmare and wake up, there's like a 50-50 chance you're going back.
Yeah. You're going back. Nightmare. Yes.
And even with the good dream, it's like if you go back to sleep and you go back into the good dream, it's the same dream, but now it's changed. Like that girl's no longer interested in you. And it's her asking you for a ride to your friend's house or something like that. You're like, okay, I guess. Can we at least stop at Waffle House on the way? I know it's an hour and 20 out of the way, but
gotcha.
It'll make the dream right.
You know what kind of dreams? This is just off the top of my head, random. You know what kind of dreams I don't have as an older person? I stopped having sexual dreams. I don't have those at all.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like
that.
I thought you were going to say like dreams of success. You know?
Yeah.
No, dude, no. I sound great on paper as a successful comedian.
Hey,
on paper, sound great.
If you had a dream that you were intimate with Michelle, she would still get mad at you because she'd be like, that wasn't me, Michelle. That's Dream Michelle.
I don't mess with that bitch, okay?
Yeah. Got some bitch
that is true.
Dreams looking like me, raising our children. F that.
Yeah. That is so true, man.
I think it's weird, and I mean, this is jokey, of course, but from a scientific standpoint, it is weird that there was a point in our life where dreams were so vivid they could cause us to ejaculate. I'm just being honest here. I mean, I wish I could harness that power. Now, if I could harness the power to just make that happen on my own, I wouldn't go out Friday nights.
You wouldn't have to.
Sit in the house. Yeah.
Do you guys remember like the first time one of those dreams happened to you? Like you woke up and the first thing you're like, who's making pancakes in the bedroom? Like why do I smell? Wait a minute! I think who's making pancakes in my underwear? What's going on?
Hey, mom! Somebody put glue in my pants.
Bring that Jemima, not the racist one, the good one.
I was one of those. I was scared. I was one of those kids like, Mom, my penis is crying.
Do you remember the evidence disposal that you had to do when that happened? You're like, I gotta wash these drawers in hand by the sink, bring them to school, and hide them somewhere to dry.
Dry. Yes. No. Rookie mistake. Mistake. If you don't wash it and let it dry somewhere.
Right. Yes.
I went the other way. I just went ahead and pooped in them. I'm like, I guess I'm pooping my pants again. Because I'd rather have something my mom's dealt with like that than the other
thing. It happened again, Ma. It happened again. And
not since I was 2, but here we go again.
Ooh, 2, good man, Mike. I think I was off and on until I was like 11. I was just like, hold that one too long riding my bike.
Holy.
Okay. Well, if you talk to my co-host of the Obligatory Podcast, Kermit Gonzalez, it never stopped for him. That guy didn't know it's uncommon to be an adult and still have moments where he's like, I do it at least once a year. Like,
what?
I thought I could make it. He's like, I thought I could make it to the house. I mistimed it. I'm like, no, that's not normal, dude. It's supposed to be like when you're a baby, maybe a toddler, to when you're like 80. There's a no poop your pants.
I would say
rule.
this, bro. Like, it also depends how heavily you drink in your early 20s. Yeah, because there could be a whole.
That's true.
Woke up and I'm like, I don't know what all these fluids are, but I know one of them's poop.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
Well, it's funny because Kermit does all the MMA training stuff too, and he's like, dude, sometimes you get kicked so hard. He's like, I don't care what controls you think you have. He's like, it's gonna happen. I'm like, then why do they make karate gis white? That seems like the dumbest thing you can do. Everybody should be a black belt.
It should all be brown pants.
That's just funny.
Brown pants. They're soaked before you go into the match too. Just
hey, that's badass to be able to tell somebody I literally kicked the crap out of a dude. Like that's badass. Right. Like that. Right? That should be a brown belt automatically. Like that should be. You move up to something.
It is. It's not for you.
What's your last memorable close call? Because I'd say you stop pooping yourself early on. But there's always an I-4 traffic close call. I know for a fact for me, there's just a time where I got out of my car. Mike, you've seen my house. I have a little step up. My house starts on the second floor. Got out, went to my mile-long, 3-inch wide courtyard, got to my steps and stopped. And I was like, I have to make the decision now. Am I going to go up these steps, unlock the door, and go straight to the bathroom? Or am I going to poop here? Because I have to know what I'm working with. Because if I make the wrong call, I'm getting it all over the steps and the hardwood floor.
Oh, and that's a lot of cleaning. That's a lot of cleaning.
This is the worst choose your own adventure book ever. Does Miguel take the stairs or the courtyard?
I've had the close call where I didn't know it was coming. Like I thought I was just going to simply just fart. And I was like, wait a minute. That was today. Bro, I don't know what happened. That was today. I don't know what I ate earlier, but I had one of those moments like, I got a little gas. And, you go to let it out and you're like, whoa.
The Trojan fart.
Yes. And it was like a hostage situation. I'm telling everybody, nobody move. Hold on.
Everybody be cool. Everybody be cool.
I think Miguel's correct though. I think I-4 is the killer because a lot of times she'll be like leaving someplace like I was at Lazy Moon Pizza one night. Delicious pizza, had nothing to do with this situation, but I was at Lazy Moon Pizza and I was like, oh man, I live a little bit south of downtown. I gotta go to the bathroom, but there's a line here. I don't like using a public bathroom if I don't have to because I hate when you're in there, have to do business, and someone walks in. Now you got to hold it till they're gone because it's going to be a noisy one. So I'm like, I'll just, I'll be home in 15 minutes max. And then I-4 was doing that late night I-4 construction. And I'm just sitting there in the middle of traffic, and I'm like, this isn't going to work. And there's no place to stop. And just by the time I get to I don't even park fully in the driveway. Like I pull up and slam on the brakes, so my car's half in the driveway, half out. And I already got my pants unbuckled and halfway down, but I'm trying to get the key in the door. How come this key doesn't fit?
You passed the guy.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, I think Preacher Lawson has the best joke about that. He goes, your colon will literally tell you have 5, 4, 3.
It's like nuclear launch codes.
It is. It's like, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it, bro.
Who was the comic that used to headline when we were featuring James? Worked for Disney, worked at the Islands of Adventure Club and everything else. Older guy.
Carl Anthony.
Carl Anthony, great guy, funny comic. His closing joke was all about doing that battle of having to, poop and making it home and getting to the door. And just as you get the key in, you're turning, you're there. And then all of a sudden just, like it held it the whole way. And I'm like, I remember being younger going, no, you old guys are sick. And then now I'm just like, I get it now. Yeah. Now I understand.
And the public toilet debacle too, Myke, is you have to make sure there's adequate toilet paper. Because there's been at least a moment in all of our lives where we had that at a public toilet, sat down, looked, and we're like, oh, I've been bamboozled.
Yeah.
Yes. I gotta get that one piece and wrap it so much around your finger. Now you just turn it into a little detailer. I wish I had like a bag of cleaner shrimp or something at this moment.
You ever have a bunch of people? You ever have a bunch of people in the bathroom with you, and you're just like, I can't
do it. I can't do it.
No, like you've done it, and now there's a bunch of people in there. But you're finishing up, so you're getting the toilet paper, and you take like the wrap, and then you realize, oh, there's more, and like you go through 7 and you can kind of hear a person 2 stalls down, going, "Oh my god!" It's like I'm not proud, dude. This is just what it's taken. I'm not going to use less because you are ashamed of me.
Myke, there's 2 walk of shames you do. One from, girl's apartment, early morning, you had a good night or not, or a woman has that. But also when you have to leave that bathroom stall and it's a full house. That's the one. You don't make eye contact. You're like, you just kind of walk out. All right.
I got slow clapped once. I was at Roxy. This is like 20 years ago, and I was at Roxy, and the bathroom attendant was like, "Oh my god," because it was just so bad. And then people were joking and laughing because it was like a drunken poop too.
Yeah. And it was messy. It was messy.
It was at least 5 do-do-do-doos. I was like a machine gunner. And when I came out, the bathroom attendant and the dude like buying jupe and the Black and Mild from him, they were both like,
used to say, my brother, I put a lot of poops in my life, brother. But that was the biggest poop I have ever heard.
Let me tell you right now, bathroom attendants are probably the reason COVID spread so fast. If there's no bathroom attendants, we're all scrubbing our hands every time. If there are bathroom attendants, there's always like 6 out of 10 guys going, I don't need to wash my hands that bad. Because I don't want to tip this guy. So that's
because I don't got $1.
Situation. I like when you get to the handicap stall and you're like, no need for you, amigo. I got all right here.
That's right.
He gets mad like, oh, he got me. My butt.
Until you realize they took a wrench and took the faucets off.
The faucet out.
Well done. But I brought my own. It's not my first time at Rachel's.
Have you guys ever had this? Real quick, I've had it too. You come out of the handicap stall, you kind of want people to know you washed your hands in there. Like you
bring the towel.
You bring the towel still.
Yeah, you walk out. Woo! You make a lot of noise. Whoa, man! Oh man, that water's cold. Oh,
crispy but cold.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cold. Oh, I like it. Oh, is that Alpine? Anyway. Well, quickly before we leave here, man, we got about a minute. We're just going to go over quick birthdays for everybody. Childhood hero of mine, Alfonso Ribeiro. Remember him from Silver Spoons, Canada Fresh Prince?
He does the dancey dance. Yeah.
He was the dancey dance. Stephen King, we all know him. Bill Murray, love me some Bill Murray movies. And Cheryl Hines. And the reason I bring Cheryl Hines up, she's the wife in she is a but she also used to work at Sluice here in Orlando, man. So I was like to shout her out. Yeah, man, she used to work there back in the day.
She worked at the Hitchcock ride over at Universal too. Yep.
Yes, she did, man. Man, a lot of famous people came from Orlando.
Not us.
Okay. Okay. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Real Laughs. When we get back, I want to talk a little bit about comic etiquette when you go to a A-room club and you're in the audience. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on 104.1 Real Laughs. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for still sticking around and rocking with Real Laughs on 104.1. I'm your host, James, joined in the virtual studio with Miguel Colon Jr. and Myke Hurley, who is returning to the Obligatory Podcast. Myke, I want to ask you real quick before we go on, what got you guys to say, hey, let's just do it one more time, let's keep going? What got you guys to do it again with Mr. Kermit Gonzalez?
Oh, Kermit got a new house, built a new studio, got engaged, and he's tired of all that. So he just
okay.
He said, I got to have something else in my life, man. I think a podcast that 6 people listen to is the answer. So
gotcha.
I feel like Kermit's gonna DJ his own wedding.
Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
That's Kermit, man. We all know and love him.
I wonder if they're gonna have a board-breaking ceremony.
Oh my God.
I just wonder if the bridal party table is gonna have a high chair. That's
instead of reading vows, they're gonna do katas.
Have matching Cobra Kai outfits. It's gonna be nice. It is.
He's probably good. There's no wedding invitations. He's designed the flyers.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't be mad at that. He's designed a lot of our flyers, man. Good for him.
He has.
Save that money.
Man. Kermit's good people. When we did 100 episodes of the Obligatory Podcast, and it just ended up being where summer was happening. Summer was about to happen. Now, I usually take the summer off when there isn't COVID to take the kids up north to see their grandparents. Kids went up north this year. I didn't, but he was also moving into a new house. So we just decided, hey, 100th episode, you're moving. It's the summer. Let's take a couple of months off. And he built a beautiful new studio. He's got like all top of the line equipment and everything else. Got the whole room soundproofed and everything. And
it looks good. I saw it.
Yeah, sometimes when you step away from something, you like come back a little bit more energized to actually do it better and right than you had thoughts. And sometimes you just get so busy with a project that you don't even have time to step away and go, I'm just on autopilot with this. But you take like a couple of months off, and all of a sudden you get these ideas, and you're like, yeah, this is what we want to do. So I'm really pumped. I'm really excited about the new direction the show's going. It's still me and him just disrespecting each other and going over topical stuff. But, it's in a nicer studio, so I think that will make the difference.
I've been telling James to take a break away from his family. Yeah, I've been telling James to take a break away from his family. I'm like, you see him every day, you love him, you earn for him, but do they respect that?
Yeah.
No, they expect that.
I think if James steps away, he'll be like, yeah, I'm going to try it again, but this time with white people. That would be,
oh my gosh. 100%.
James has enough jobs where he can have a family in different cities.
I could.
Yeah,
I couldn't afford it, but I could.
I think they would just respect it. They'd be like, "Cool, Dad, do whatever." Yeah, go raise your
Thanks for
kids.
sticking around this long and go do your thing. We're chasing our dreams. You chase yours.
The Yon family is single-handedly ending racism, though, because they're multiracial, Spanish and black kids, and then they always have like multiracial partners. 3 generations of Yon kids making babies, and we're set.
Well, it's like Tom Rhodes says. James is just phasing it out till everybody's going to be a nice shade of gray.
Yeah.
And then you can hate people for the people they are and not the color of their skin. Tom
like
Rhodes,
the good Lord intended, Mike. Yes, man. Right. Jesus. Now, speaking of hating people, let's talk about comedians for a second in Orlando. Guys,
I hate myself.
No, I do. Me too. I'm with you there, buddy. Now, we're very lucky. No, honestly, we are, because we have an improv here, and knock on wood, shout out to Krista, the general manager there. She lets us go see shows we want to go see. A lot of us, if we've helped her out and done things for her, like help her distribute tickets and whatnot, she'll let us go see a show. And we're blessed that way. We're very fortunate we can go see one of your top comedians traveling in the U.S. and we'll get to see them actually perform and talk to them. They're very tangible. But what happens is a lot of us who get to do that day in, day out, we get a little bit too comfortable, I think. We begin doing things that we probably shouldn't do. It's like somebody coming to your house and they have dinner with you a few times, and the third time they come over your house, they just come in, put their feet up on your table and say, what's for dinner? A little bit too comfortable. I like, shout out Akeem. Like, just get a little too weird.
I think what it is, and this is going to sound like classist almost, but everybody shouldn't be allowed to just do that. It's cool that everybody is allowed, but everybody hasn't shown Krista that they're the kind of person that should be allowed to do that. And it doesn't have to do with years in the game. It just has to do with everybody hasn't earned a right to just take something so nice from the club and that person,
Because not every club does that. Not every club allows you to just go do that.
Most clubs don't. I mean, I early on in my career, one of the things I used to do, James, was this: I would fly out in other cities to do open mics all over the country just because I wanted to get a feel for comedy. Like my first year in, I had good connects on flights, and I would fly to I probably did, I no lie, 50, 60 open mics my first 2 years in different states, all over, just to try out, and in little shows. And you would learn that how spoiled you were, because even my first year in comedy, Krista and me knew each other from me coming to the comedy club as a guest before. And I would come there and she'd be like, hey, Tommy Davidson's coming this week. If we don't sell out, you could sit in the back. And then I would fly out to like Colorado and do like one of their clubs out there where they had an open mic, and they're like, you have to pay to do the open mic. You have to stay in the front row. We'll call you in. And God forbid you even wanted to see a show that was going on there. And the thing is, they're not actually the bad guys for that. That's kind of the norm. We just have a club that spoils us and really, really likes comedy and comics.
Yeah, and having said that, if we get that, opportunity, we get that privilege, we shouldn't do anything to get that privilege taken away. There's certain rules and there's an etiquette to this. As I want to talk to all the comics out there. When you go to a comedy club like that and we get the privilege of seeing a show, act like you've been somewhere before. There's a couple things I saw 2 weeks ago working at the Improv. I got to work with Carlos Mencia. I told you guys, great guy, great comedian. And he was even cool about some of the things that happened, right, Mike? He actually told that person why they shouldn't do it. We had a comedian show up to the show, Miguel, and afterwards, we were all having a great time. Everything was great. He was shaking hands, kissing babies, and I was telling everybody, thank you for coming out. One of the comedians decided they wanted to go to the bathroom. Instead of going to the public bathroom for everybody else that's a guest or audience member, they go to the green room to use the bathroom when it's still rightfully the headliner's green room.
And this comic's not a part of the show.
They
were just there to watch the show. Yeah.
Just there, and didn't understand why they got in trouble for doing that.
You shouldn't go into the green room unless you're part of the show, unless you've been invited by the headliner to come hang out. Because you know what? Your stuff is in there. Just around there. Too.
That's right.
When you're in that green room, you feel comfortable leaving your bag, your stuff. I've left my wallet and phone out in there just because I'm like, I had a bit once where I used to pull my pockets out. So I'm like, let me put my wallet and phone out there in the green room so I could do that. The green room is supposed to be safe for the headliner and then the people in the show, if invited. Because we've all been to the shows where the headliner had the green room to themselves and you were, welcome to say hi and stuff, but that was their unwind room for them.
I think there's even working comics that don't understand that rule. You got to treat the green room almost like under vampire rules. Like you don't enter unless they invite you in.
They invite you.
And just because you were the headliner Tuesday, Wednesday off night shows last week and that was your green room, realize that's your green room while it's your name on the show. Once Thursday, Friday, Saturday comes, if it's someone else in that green room, that's their private space. Like you were saying, a lot of people have just all their stuff laid out back there. Their phones, their laptops, their bags, their merch, their personal stuff. And even more so, it's like, dude, don't just walk in. It's like walking into a stranger's house and being like, I'm going to take a poop. Don't worry. I've pooped in here before you lived here. I used to pay rent here. Now this is still my house. I got to keep it.
We've been in green rooms where the comics like boyfriend or girlfriend is in there when they're not in there and they've been on the road together and it's kind of like their intimate place to sit around and hang out.
Hit on you and it's all awkward.
It's weird having sex with a headliner's boyfriend in the green room.
While he films it. It's weird.
I'll tell you right now, I won't do it a fourth time.
Yeah, I won't because then they didn't even pay for my chicken sandwich. And I'm like, whoa. Right. I let you cover me with mustard, and how I had to pay for the sandwich.
Speaking of that, how many times have you seen, like, okay, for those who don't know, if you're on the show, a lot of times you have a server dedicated to your green room. So that server will be cool as hell. And if you have a guest there, they'll usually offer your guest something. Now, here's the thing. A lot of times if someone comes back and I got a show going on and something, it's like one of you guys or something, I'll be like, hey, throw on, Ken's here. Can you throw on our tab a crown apple or whatever for Ken? And they'll be like, yeah, sure.
Simple. Yeah.
But when you get these guests that show up and like you're not even, they're just in the green room, the server doesn't know. They treat everybody in that green room like they're part of the show or a guest of the show. So the server's never going to tell anyone, no, you can't have it because they don't want to disrespect the performers. So you'll get these people that just show up in the green room on an off night, have just met the people on the show through whoever else, and they'll be like, oh, by the way, bring me this, this, and this, and I'll take the chicken with the fries and stuff like that. It's like, dude, you're not even working tonight.
Yeah.
You're not even working. And at the end of the night, you got the GM coming to the people on the show going like, guys, how come your food tab is so high tonight? It's like, dude, I didn't even have an app. What's going on?
That really happened. That's a true story Mike's talking about. And just happened recently with us.
Happens all the time, but you had a specific one.
I had one where a guy that just was with me, not even a comic, thought because I was a headliner that night. No. I wasn't even a headliner. I was just the MC, and he thought just because I worked there that night, he could just order whatever he wanted. So I order my food, I go on stage, I come back, I get pulled into the office because they're questioning how much I ordered. Now, you know me, I'm not that guy to take advantage. So I'm like, what do you mean? I ordered this and that. That's it. Like, no, James. And they showed me a CVS receipt of food that this dude had ordered while I went on stage. So that's another thing with green room etiquette. Don't over order or take advantage. Yes, we do get some leeway. We can order someone a drink or two, but don't make the bill $600 because they're going to look at you a little bit crazy about that.
And also something is, remember, the headliner is allowed to do things if they're a big name that you might not be allowed to do. And you need to be questioned, because I've been there where they're twisting up some bud, and I'm like, I can't be here for that because I'm going to get scolded for that.
Yes.
You're a huge Hollywood headliner. You know, you can go to the hotel room later on and smoke and stuff. Whatever. Nobody's going to bother you. You're a huge name. But I am Miguel. I am the MC, and I will get yelled at because I'm not supposed to be hot. That's the same thing with like getting drunk. I've worked with headliners that can get drunk and go on stage. But I am the MC. I am working for the club, not the headliner. So you can't. I think we've all had headliners that are really cool that want you to keep drinking with them. Bert Kreischer was like that. He was like, "We are getting wasted, Miguel," and I was like, I am not allowed to be wasted here. I literally told him, because we were all day drinking, and he was like, "We're getting lit tonight, buddy." And I was like, I am not allowed to get lit. Like,
yes, I can't. And they don't understand. They're like, why not? I'm like, because I still got to be here next week. You're going to leave.
I've had headliners tell me too. I've had headliners tell me, they're like, no, I don't care what they said. Do as much time as you want. And I'm like, no. I do as much time as Krista tells me because I work for her right now.
And that brings up a good point. That
Go ahead,
brings up
Mike.
a valid point. Even though, you know, you're a comic, you're a local comic or whatever else, and you walk back into that hallway and you bump into the headliner for the weekend, you go, hey, I'm a local comic. Can I get a guest spot? Understand right now, 90% of the time, the headliner, who's a big name, is probably going to say yes to you because he doesn't want to get that reputation of he didn't help out people when he came through town. That being said, I know with our general manager, you should go ask her first if it's okay to ask for a guest spot, because I've heard multiple occasions where she finds out someone asked the headliner for a guest spot and it wasn't cleared with her, because a lot of these guys are guys that she hasn't even said okay to go up on the main stage in her club yet. But now because you've asked so-and-so for a guest spot, she doesn't want to offend him and take it back. But you've also put the guy in a position where, you know, he doesn't want to be a bad guy. So, you know, it's best to wait till after the show, meet the guy, talk with him, and then ask the GM, is it okay if he seemed like a cool dude? Is it okay if I ask for a guest spot?
Even if the headliner is a big guy and they ask you to do the spot, clear it with the GM.
Yeah.
Clear it with the GM.
Amen. So in closing, really quickly, Carlos actually explained to the comic that went back to the green room, not in a mean way. Mike was there. He was very polite and said, this is why you don't do that, because the other headliners will ream you and you won't be able to work at this club anymore. So basically, he was just trying to help out. So guys, don't go anywhere when we get right back. We're going to be talking about a new documentary I saw on Netflix about social media I found very interesting. So don't go anywhere. Right here on Real Laughs 104.1. Welcome back, everybody. You're still listening to Real Laughs on 104.1. I want to remind everybody listening right now, you can always catch up with our past episodes on the iHeart app. You can always follow us on Instagram and Facebook, and now you can follow us on YouTube. That's right. Please go to our page, Real Laughs, comment, like, and subscribe. You can see all these beautiful voices that you hear each and every week. Now, guys, I wanted to talk to you guys about something I saw on Netflix. I've been watching a lot of Netflix stuff because, you know, what else am I going to do? I'm at home, not working, whatnot. I got turned on to this documentary from my wife because my wife always accuses me of being on my phone because I'm always checking social media, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever, I'm always on it. And she sent us a group text to my kids and myself saying, you guys need to really watch this new documentary called The Social Dilemma so you guys can change all of your habits when it comes to how much time you spend on social media. Now, I've heard my wife say this before, so I'm thinking, okay, it's going to be some documentary with a pie chart telling you, look, social media engagement's bad. It's up on the rise. You know, people actually connecting is on the decline. Like, I thought I was going to know everything. But here's how they got me, Miguel and Mike. they had all these creators and co-founders of people like Facebook, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all these different places that we always go each and every day that we view as being harmless, and Google also. And they were saying that we quit these places for ethical dilemmas that we were having with ourselves, because what's going on right now as far as data mining and us all the fake news that we make revenue off of, that we're really not going to actually moderate because we make money off ads and we don't care who really gives us the money. They were saying they left those companies because the things that they do are leading America down a bad path. Now I know it sounds like a huge conspiracy theory, but hear me out a second. Here's how they say stuff like that works. They said Russia did influence the 2016 election, but they did it all through legal means. They basically took out propaganda ads and pushed them down people's throats with social media, which at the time was very legal, because I've learned that the laws that govern social media is like the Wild West right now. It's not like any other industry. There's no real rules set in place about different things that you can actually do. Like Facebook got a little bit of trouble. They got a slap on the wrist. They had congressional hearings and everything about what may have gone down in 2016. But for the most part, if I'm a company and I have an agenda and I want to write some commercials or some propaganda ads, I can just do that with Facebook by spending millions of dollars to change how a certain amount of people think. And it was interesting because I thought, because I'm an idiot, everybody's news feed was the same. I thought when you log on to Facebook, what you see, everybody sees. But no, it's based on your individual algorithm, the things that you're into, your interest. It takes it from everywhere, combines that, and that's the news you get. So if you're a person that believes in conspiracy theories and you're always commenting on them and you're always in those kind of groups, that's what you see on your feed. If you're a person that always has a liberal agenda and you're always making comments about social injustice, that's what you see. If you're a person on the far right and you love Trump, let's say, you're going to see that all the time.
So wait a minute. You guys aren't getting penis enlargement ads every other post?
No,
that's not
normal. Let me ask you this though: what size are the sex dolls they're trying to sell you? Like,
I'd say about
because mine are conjoined.
What sticks with that is if you take them apart, you lose both of them. You know?
I get a lot of food is not your friend posts. Is that just me? Okay, whatever. But yeah, basically those things. Just saying we are controlled. Like their job is to influence us to do certain things. And they're just telling people how they use news to split us all, and that's contributing to how polarizing it is now for people to be on separate sides of the aisle when it comes to politics. Like I say, politics now is different because it's like people are rooting for their favorite team. You know how people who are big fans of Patriots, no matter what happens, the Patriots are the best damn team to ever be on this God's green earth? I think people root for like their side of the aisle the same way. Like they don't even if we disagree nowadays, I hate you. It's not like, oh man, like my grandfather used to always get together with this other old dude and they would argue over politics and that was their thing, but they were friends. Nowadays, if you disagree, I hate you. You're my mortal enemy. I hope you die. Like it's that crazy. So I really wish you guys would watch this documentary because the things they tell you is interesting. Like the way that Google works.
I've watched it.
You have seen it. Gotcha. Yeah. The way that Google works, they were saying that Google is different depending on what region of the country you live in. Like if you're, like, say, in a red state and you look up global warming, depending on where you're at or the political views of that area, that determines what autofills the next couple of words. Like
James, I'll tell you this one: if you change your location on your Netflix, you'll get offered different movies.
Yes. That is absolutely right.
And if you change your Netflix to a country that doesn't have like copywriting laws, you'll get movies that aren't on your Netflix yet.
That's right. That's right. My son actually changed, what do you call it, his domain where it looked like he was overseas with Netflix.
Yeah.
So he could get different programming because they have different licenses over there that we couldn't get. So you're absolutely right with that, man. Yeah. So it's just very, very interesting. The story. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, if you use Baidu is China's Google.
Yes.
And if you use Baidu instead of that and you don't translate, you'll get offered so much more. If you use Baidu and you ask it to translate into English, you'll see prices set that are based on U.S. prices. If you don't translate, you have somebody that can speak Mandarin, they'll go in there and the things that you'll see are set at prices that are reflective to the Asian market.
That is true. It's just. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I will tell you about the documentary, though. Like what you were saying is it shows the stuff that more falls in lines with your viewpoints, because your social media, like if you're a Democrat, it will show you more things that support your views, or if you're Republican. Actually, what I picked up from that is the algorithms itself will find out what you're interacting with the most. So if what you do is enjoy going on, like say you're Democratic, but you love going on your Republican friends' posts who post, their stuff, and you like getting into those debates, then you can expect that they're going to keep feeding you other people's viewpoints because they know you'll spend hours upon hours, Facebook arguing with someone else. But the one thing I really took away from that documentary that I love this, they're like, if you're using a product and you're not paying for that product, you are the product.
Yes.
Because I sat there and like when I heard that, I was like mind blown, because all of a sudden you think about this, like we argue all the time about like, oh, Facebook, I don't pay for it, but if it doesn't do this, then I'm leaving it. And yet no one ever does, because let's face it, it's a free service. But then you realize the free part of it is they're using everything you do on here to figure out how to sell to people like you. Facebook, quite simply, makes its money through selling your information and marketing and advertising. We're just test subjects, and in exchange for it, we're not getting our $50. We're getting free usage of this software that's supposed to be for the betterment of our lifestyle.
And the other quote I like, Mike, was what they used. There's only two industries where they refer to people that are addicted to something as users. That's drug dealers and social media.
I love how people want freedom of speech in social media when they're like, oh, they're banning this, or what about freedom of speech? You don't have the right to freedom of speech on a private business. No, you have the right to create your own platform and then push whatever, but you don't have freedom of speech on Instagram, on Facebook, because those are private companies. That's not, they're not protected with that. And here's, thing
go ahead. No, I was just going to say, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, what you gonna do? No, go speak, damn it.
All right. What I was gonna say, the other interesting thing was that people, they know how our attention spans are so short that we don't really go watch news anymore like we should. So they got this group of people who only get their information from social media. That's why they were saying it's so dangerous, because people will just watch what they're being fed based on their interest, what they like clicking on, and they believe everything that comes down the pipeline. That's why people were trying to have a day of not using Facebook in protest, because I don't know how it could, because they use algorithms, they're not fact checking all these ads that people put up. So people can put up propaganda. But I just don't know, how would you do that in real time? You know how many ads? Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. They don't have to fact check it. We do.
Yes.
They don't have to fact check it.
Yes.
We do. Mm-hmm. They're just a bulletin board. Cats for sale.
Amen.
Are cats really for sale? I don't know. You find out. But
that's
cats are for sale. Pull a tab. That's the American dilemma, or the world dilemma. Stop demanding that these things fact check and do some damn fact checking.
Research. Yes, absolutely, man.
You have the same power. You have the power to look into things versus accepting what's told to you.
I know it's true because I follow both Republican posts and Democratic posts, right? I got two different news stories of the same story. It was a Black Lives Matter protest shortly after what went down, and it was of the white couple standing in front of their mansion. You guys remember that with the guns?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Remember that story?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. On my Republican side, it said couple defend themselves with guns as Black Lives Matter people invade their mansion. Now, then the Democratic side says peaceful protest is met with guns as they walk by mansion. Now, if I didn't do any more research, depending on what side I was on, I'd be like, do you see that? Do you see the problem with Black Lives Matter? You see them? They're storming that mansion. These people have to come out with guns and defend themselves. Or on the other side, do you see that? We're just trying to have a protest. Well, and people are guns pointed at our heads.
I tell you where half the battle comes in. I bet as you read the article, they both have the same facts, but the headlines have different spins.
Absolutely.
And that's one of the big problems I run into. Well, what did you read about in the article? I didn't read the article, but I read the headline.
I read the headline.
So the headline has a different spin. Both articles will probably present similar facts, They'll have an agenda, but they'll present similar facts. But most people won't get past the headline.
No, they won't. No, they won't. And I know we've heard these facts before, these different charts they put up where they're saying that kids that were born after the 90s, Generation Z, who grew up with, let's say, social media in middle school and up. We didn't have that, of course, Generation X.
Yeah.
Their life is social media as far as how they see themselves. They see that as an extension of real life. Whereas we see it like it's just a tool. That's not real life for us. We got other stuff to worry about. But for them, it's everything they know. It's their perception. Yeah. When they go home from school, social media is still them, you know?
Yeah.
So we're the last generation, they say, who knows it's an illusion. What happens to future generations as they go through and think this is everything to me? Which to a lot of kids just is.
To go back to that documentary, you see all these people that walked away from the things they created, the social media platforms and whatnot.
Yes.
And having two young kids myself, who right now screen time to them is watching something on YouTube or playing video games. They haven't even begun to broach the social media platform, which is the way I want to keep it. You see these people who designed this at the end, at one of the last questions there, you asked, he's like, how often do your kids or your family spend on social media? He's like, we have a strict no in this house. You don't get to do that. So to go back to drug dealing, you don't get high on your own supply. You don't use and sell. And these people who invented this know how harmful it is, so they won't let the people they love near it. That should speak volumes about what this is doing to you mentally.
The guy who created the YouTube algorithm won't even use YouTube. That dude was amazing. He's like, nah, don't use that. It's bad. So before we go real quick, guys, we want to end on a fun note. Now, where are you guys performing comedy this weekend?
This weekend, I will be over at Laugh Out Lounge in Winter Haven.
Yes, she will. Nice, man. Yeah. Devin got the place opening up this week. We're Ashton, his partner.
Thursday, we got a show. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
Congratulations, man. Let us definitely know how that is. Mike, where are you going to be this weekend?
I was going to be at Laugh Out Lounge, but they couldn't pay me my fee. So
that's fine.
You just pay. It's my usual fee plus 20% plus 100% because it's Winter Haven. So.
Yeah,
got it. If you guys care, I will be at Margaritaville this weekend in Southern Orlando. If you guys want tickets, no, sir. No,
you didn't.
I live in Kissimmee. No, I did not. So, guys, if you want to get some tickets, you can dial 407-622-5653. Tell them James should for free tickets. Now, we will see you guys tomorrow. On behalf of Mike, Miguel, and myself, we'll see you tomorrow. Real Laughs out.